So we'll be spending the next hour, as Gabby said, with Yungchen Lhamo, a singer from Tibet. Her life story is fascinating. Her music is quite moving. I've known Yungchen for 20 odd years, I think since about 2000 or 1999, when you came over to my apartment. And I think we did some recording that day, in fact, that ended up on a record. In 2005, I produced a record for Yungchen, which is called Ama, her third record. And we've done a fair amount of playing together, both in the States and overseas. We'll get into more of the details of her story as we go along, but we thought it might be good to start with just a little bit of Yungchen singing, just to give you a sense of her voice and its effect on people, well, certainly on me, but seen it affect a lot of people. Yungchen, if you don't mind singing for us, that would be wonderful.
Yes. Thank you for the World Music Institute giving me this opportunity, and especially Jamshid Sharifi. He won the also a Tony Award winner, and so it's very happy to be here. And I would like request all the here that maybe we can really be here with mind, the speech, our heart together, body, mind, speech, Tibetans say. So we be this together. And then we maybe breathe and then really breathe out and then be, this moment, it's just this moment. So we make ease the body rest. So I offer this to all of you, to the world. Thank you.
That was lovely, Yungchen. Thank you. It's always interesting to know somebody's origin story. And I think in the case of Yungchen, it's more than interesting. It's kind of epic, actually. Yungchen, would you share with us how you ended up from Tibet in the United States? I know there's a few amazing parts to that journey.
Yes. Um, yes, thank you. It's long story short. I have a son and I am single mother, so I crossed the Himalaya mountains, and I think sometimes these are very not easy to put in words, so to say. Say I packed my little bag and then we run, so we left. So which means you leave everything that you know. And at the same time, for us, we learned, so to say, non touchment. But as a human being, even we do the life of living of this philosophy, but it's hard. So you never know, will you be survive on that journey or not? And many of them cannot survive. They just, they lost their life. And so we know this also. And for me also took that journey, so give education, so to say, basically a wisdom. So I took my son, so we crossed Himalayan mountains, and then this is not just one day or just few days, and many the obstacles we have to overcome on this. So, but uh, once we arrive to Nepal, and then in that journey, when we in Tibet, we thinking world means you only know the world, it's few countries, and I never heard, Americans or anything when I grew up. We don't hear other countries in this world existed. And so for this sense, once you arrive in Nepal, and then India, and then from India I came to Australia. Australia really, it's my, so to say, second homeland. And so there I start a mantra, because we believe the mantras that they have a vibrations and that beneficial to all people who want to benefit. So when people are aware of this, there's amount of the, so to say, healing properties. And so I was there and never thought I'm going to take this singing journey. People call always singer or singer, but for me, it's a moment of offerings. That's how I look. So therefore, Australian in music industry, they gave me also award for that CD. I performed Warm at Adelaide, Peter Gabriel's. So then after I performed there, they said, everybody has CD, so I made a CD. So then that won the music award, called ARIA Award, so which has become the first Tibetan who won a music award, so to say, in the West side. So I was become first the one. So sometimes it's good you are first, but many the time when you are first, also there's lots of obstacles, and I don't speak the language. I don't know anything, and so also in the music there is lots of me. If you look, the obstacles. I don't speak the English. I don't have big band. I don't sing pop or any other regions. So and then I am woman, and then come from somewhere that not many people discovered. Of course, people discovered monks, nuns, but really lots of people did not know what Tibetan means, the culture or the women or children. So like that. So then I came to America. I performed in Carnegie Hall, and then I met Natalie Merchant, and she was very kind till today. She is really made me home, so to say, in America for her warmness. Short story.
So Yungchen, when you made this journey, you were carrying your son. I've known your son for 20 years, and he's such a wonderful young man, um, so upright, so caring, so beautiful. Um, but when you made the journey, how old was Shadrip?
Uh, Less than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's um, I think it's hard.
Mm.
Um, many mothers just carry your baby and you go, you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
will you be survived? You know,
Right.
but all mothers, all parents, they all just think you no matter what suffering you go through, hardship, you always want to make the best for the child. So it's
Yes.
yeah, so sometimes people say, "Oh, you crossed the Himalaya mountains." People look this story such a romantic ways,
Mm,
but actually, if you really uh, think, you know, that journey,
mm,
it's not it's not romantic. It's not explained by words, and yeah, so it's a hard. Me right now, I see that people go through similar, little bit like similar here, and you know, right
mm,
now in the world, parents separate, the children don't know where they are, and so especially we don't know nobody in that other country. So uh, I think America is such a unique place that all the people come from somewhere, and yet they are very kind, everybody willing to do something for others. And so this way, I think I feel lucky I am in America. But at the same time, uh, you still, this many, you thinking you lived here, and you still don't know so many things, you know. But Shedu was very, very special, and he is very kind, and he's doing this one job of kindness uh, for others. We're helping low-income people. I did this almost 10 years, basically. I left the stage. I decided that I would live my life with homeless, illness, especially mentally, so to say, schizophrenia, and then veterans, then disabled, then drug addictions, all of this. And I see, because when I grew up in Tibet, we have life very difficult, but we don't see of this.
mm,
And especially for, so to say, mental troubled,
mm,
we sort of say we look life a little bit different than some other countries. And so therefore I said, um, I see this problem here. So it's good we sending prayers. It's good we sending love, but I want to spend my life with them if they can do anything. So that's what I spent there. So we learn to what love means, what unconditional means, why we not hate other people, and hate create such a trauma for the body and for the earth.
mm,
And so we talk about this, and then I listen their stories, how they land there. And some of them really never, never, nobody hugged them. Nobody, that's why I made this song called You Are Beautiful, I'm Beautiful. When I say beautiful means human nature is beautiful. When we born, we are beautiful. And so it's not about, you become not beautiful because your illness or your you know what you did yesterday. And so therefore this show was really the song also, it's more to them, and to all of the people who are you know uh, neglected at the side. It's for all of them. Yes.
mm. And you've been doing this charity work for the last 10 years, is that correct?
Yes, almost 10 years. I mean, we want to do this continuously, but now because this pandemic cannot
Mm,
go 2 years, and now the house also sold, and then people are went to different places, and many of my so to say dancing, singing uh, elderly, who are passed away, um, so they're all so happy. Last time we did two shows here, and all the actors is from this. So, one family has little troubled. alcoholisms and then some other issues, and one family is come out from this, and then everybody is from that place. And so now people are in different places. But I think, in any country, any places, we can do this. This is not to say you suffering, I just send love. No, for me, I go there. I spent my life with them. So then when before they passed away, I stay there. And then every big holidays, I go there, and every Wednesday, Tuesday, and then many the time people come here like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So they come here. So then, they feel saved. Yes.
Hmm, hmm,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Can you talk a little bit about how your music and your voice developed? What music did you listen to as a young person? What music influenced you as you were uh, developing your own art? Um, and what music moves you now?
Hmm. Um, for many people, maybe this is sound little silly.
Mm,
When I was tiny, and I always, you know, in Tibet, my father monk, my mother's nun, but I did not meet my father till much later. Until this, when I was young, uh, people and everybody said you don't have father. So
mm,
I always thought I don't have father, and
mm,
so uh, it's did not talk about, and he wasn't there. So my mother was single mother, and also my grandmama was also single grandmama.
mm,
And so they always prayer. And so uh, I always made my own prayer, which is uh, my grandmother said, "Oh, you are the best child, grandchild. You
mm,
are always praying. I love you." So she was, patting my hair and like that. So
mm,
she always, I remember she has big eyes, black hair, and then she always has this prayer wheel, and she has a Tibetan dress. So she always sit, we have a little outside you can sit. So she sit there do prayers. And so then that day really, um, my mother asked me to bring something to my grandmama. So I went, and then she said, "Oh, you are good and you doing prayers." I said, "Mm." And so mainly I made my prayer, it's saying, I want to grow up quickly as possible, and then please make me become man like this. And then she was like, really, she almost dropped her prayer. Huh? So and then I said, "Oh, yes, that's how I pray." I mean, she asked me, "Do you pray mantras or do you pray medicine Buddha? Do you pray Green Tara?" Lots of prayers. And she said, "Oh, would you pray?" I said, "Oh, I made one myself." And she said, "What?" So, so then when I said this, she could not believe. She said, "Oh, that's you saying, oh, that time?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Why?" I said, if I grow up quickly, I can help the older people who need water, who need to have fireworks, or who need to do something, I can do. And also, when you're children, you can see lots of men carry the woods, big piece, and then go to get the water from the well, and then they throw a bigger bucket, and then they pull, lots of waters. And then here you are, I just put a little small tin, so to say, this tiny tin. So we put string both sides, make hole. So I throw this, and then when I collect the water, by the time I went to the other lady. She is blind, quite young age is blind. So I take water to her. So by the time when I get her house, not much water left, you know, because uh, yes, it's very silly in the way. So one day I was picking my water, and then there's a man, he came. He said, "Oh, what do you drink?" I said, "Oh, I get, oh." Then he throw his bucket, and then he picked this water, and then I was like, wow, would be nice if I become man like that, you know? So that's I want to. Then, we always think men are stronger. So because of this, then I made my prayer, and then she said, no, you really want to help people? I said, yes. I want to become nun. If I cannot, then I want to do this work. And then she said, oh, then if you really want to help people, you have a gift and you must sing. Then I said, sing? No. Singing? Yes. No. I said, this I don't do. And then she said, oh, then you doesn't mean it. I said, yes, I want to help people. Mm-mm. If I cannot have the opportunity to learn the philosophy, I said, this I am going to do in my life. So that time there's a school also, most it's work. You go to report your name there, and then you go to pick things and do things, not much study. So then my grandmother said, oh, uh, you learn these ones. And then she sang these prayers, and I have no I have no idea and no interest. I was just thinking, oh no, singing, no. First of all, I am very shy, and no way, I don't do it. So then my mother said, no, your grandmother, we don't know how long she lives. Whatever she say, you need to say, yes, this is respect. We need to respect elderly. So then I said, okay. So then few times I go there, and then she sing all these prayers, and she said, you do sing these.
Hmm.
But I said to her, you know, that's not prayer. And she said, this is prayer, but you sing. But for me, it's like singing and prayer, and like this little chart, it's hard to understand. So I really did not go to music school.
Mhm.
So then much later in my life, I have to go to work in this factory also in my early age.
Mhm.
And so I don't see my parents or families or sisters, or we just went in the this truck. And then yes, so there's each family has the oldest to go to work to that place, and that was quite far from my family. And so there's my brothers also. I did not see they passed away uh, from malnutrition, so I become the oldest, so I have to go to these works. So we went to that place, and we don't know where we are. And I was the youngest, but people say, where do we come from? This way, east, west, nobody knows. And completely surrounded by forests. So there is this factory, so we work. So uh, in that place, they choosing me, sing some songs and dancing, and but there's no teachers, so to say, teach. Everybody, there's a song, and then you sing together. So it's not like music like you do nicely, right? And I did not do that. And but so that's how I come. And then when I from Tibet, crossing that Himalaya, it's very, very harsh.
Mm.
And I almost, I mean, the doctor say, you cannot make it because there's these bugs go to your bodies. So that time I really said, I just arrived here. I cannot just go. Uh, we all have to go from this planet Earth. But for me, I just thought, would be nice if I live a little bit so that I can make sure Shadus, okay. And so I was very injured, arms, legs. And so then I remember my mother always says, if you sing these prayers wherever you go, if you chant, this will be beneficial for all sentient beings. And even nobody next to you. On the earth, there's earth bugs, and then there are, it's vibration. So then I thought, oh, maybe I can use a little bit that. Normally, I don't ask something help me, make me better, because the reason is we understand that there is no self. We often think me and my and I, and if you really investigate, there is no such things like that. It's just we, this I-ness think it's mine, you know? So because of this, I never asked, even I go through such difficult that journey, um, also in my life, I never asked to say, can you help me? So, but I did ask when I go to with homeless, people go through traumatized. I really say, all the blessings need to come now. That's something I do. So really for music, and I really don't have music, but for me, one of also music meet you. It's very grateful because you are music we say music, offering, and so you hold these teachings or music and sound. So when we made the CDs and there are certain things I normally don't think, you know and also I performed almost a cappella 20 years. I just go myself, and then for me it's really not concert. It's just, really sending the prayers on the earth. It's not about this audience here, some audience next to you, or thousand audience there, you know. So I don't do because of this, and for me it's not show. So, working and making the CD Amma with you musically, and I just, my ear a little bit opened. And before, I really don't listen music because, for us, you do prayers. That's you sending the vibrations to all sentient beings. So it's not about you entertain yourself, listen music. And Shadru always says, you need to listen music, you need to listen different music. And so therefore, I am till today very grateful, and I believe that we continuously work together. I mean, not work. For me, it's offering. But in the West, they say we work together. Yes, for me, I do believe it's like that. Yes, so music training. No, I would like to go one day if I have the uh, facilities. If somebody say come to music school, I will go. Yes, yes, something like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yungchen, one thing that seems to be a big part of your music making, at least from my own perspective, is that although when you perform songs, and some of the songs that we perform are shall we say, composed or written. You perform it the same way each time. You also use improvisation as a part of your music making. And this is not something that's so common in popular music. It is something that's more common in many non-Western musics. Um, how do you feel about this boundary between music that exists or is done the same way every time and music that's improvised?
Mm. To me, I don't immediately thinking that I improvise
Mm,
because when I sing using my voice, there's a pictures and there's the energies, and then also some sound, so to say. Then this also, you know, so to say, comes. It's not say now I'm going to do improvise, and I, so to say, prepare or something like this.
mm,
Often I don't do that because for me, they shower down the blessings. So I follow that. So because I don't think, say, I am improvising songs or I don't think like that.
mm.
Does this make sense?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So then that means this sometime for, I think for musically, maybe sometime it's not so, maybe, I don't know how, because the music players, then everything has to be balanced, or and then sometime when we use our voice to go to these places that you see, and then the maybe the percussionists really don't see what I see or what I feel. They listen the sound of the voice.
Mm, mhm,
So and then they say, oh, I that their journey is there, but the people who really has sense of openness that they are, they feel and they see also their own visions. So that's why when I sing, people always say, you brought my grandmother to me and you brought my lover to me, because I don't, normally I don't see this very clearly. Oh, you brought me to Tibet, or, and this really happened to me wherever I performed. I mean, I don't perform Japanese language or any Italian other language. So wherever I go, when I did a cappella singing, and so people say, "Oh, you singing like my traditional," but I don't know. I never heard their traditional, you know.
mm, mhm,
And so I always believe that we all are connected. We all connected. That's our philosophy say. We all once upon a time did parents, did children, did lovers, did everything. Even the animals. That's why we don't damage the animals. We don't go somewhere, destroy the natures. We don't do this. Because the reason is we are here, we are one, and that's why you love equally. We don't love because you doing something for me. And for my own experience, I think, that's my always my mother also teaching. you know Love need to be feel, doesn't matter where they are. And for me, I think, we can write about love, and then we choose who we love, so then become something else. But if we practice really every day, eating, sleeping, walking, talking, sending message, if we use this love, So I think then there's amount of sort of say teaching or wisdom we can experience. Otherwise, we can, yes, we sometimes we, you know, some people died because of this love, you know. So then we really need to individual practice. So then somebody say, go kill somebody, and this is love, you go, and maybe it's not so right, isn't it?
Mm, mm.
So therefore, yes, yeah, I don't know this answer, it's relevant or not. And I apologize, my English, some of them you run the world, they say, oh God, this young chance English still like this. And in fact, I become worse English. Yes.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yes, when we first met, I just, yes, lots of years. And then Jamshid is very kind. His family is very kind, very beautiful. And so she, and Miyuki and Jamshid say, Yungchen, would you like water? I said, yes. Oh, would you like tea bag? Yes. Would you like little milk? Yes. And then would you like little sugar? Yes. Then end up I drinking tea and different teas and Japanese teas. Yes. So that time lots of years and so I think we are now this many years past, but when you have a love, the true love, not by conditioned. So then doesn't matter how time passed, and also in Tibet we say there is no time.
Mm,
You know,
mhm,
time is really relevant. So
mm, mm. So, I've seen you work often with me, but sometimes on your own with a number of musicians. Uh, I'm not sure I know the number off the top of my head. It could be 20 or 30, probably more. And they are all profoundly affected by you, both your musicality and the way that you present yourself. And I also know that Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, is a big part of your life. You've done quite a bit of performing at events for the Dalai Lama. And um, could you talk just briefly before we get into questions uh, about the role of Tibetan Buddhism in your musical life, in your relationships with musicians? Because it seems to be very much threaded into what you do.
mm, yes, yes, in teachings, basically, I think really it's philosophy for the mind. Often lots of sufferings due to our mental state. And this philosophy really helps what is need to be looked after, what is not important.
Mm,
And for me, to perform or to be front, it's not about me. I don't look for I become famous or then something I am and what people receive me. I really don't think that this way. And for me, it's the teaching unconditional love you serve. So that's, then if you meet people, we treasure that. It's by karma. We don't say, I don't look myself, oh, I am such a singer, so I met this musician. No, I say, he is, she is, come to my life, whether there's musicians or not musicians, come to my life we by karma. So we're meant to be doing something for the earth,
mm,
good ones.
mm,
And so therefore, I meet, Annick Lennox, also James Sheet produced this CD, if you like to
mm.
see. I prepared. And uh, you know, Annie is very unique, voice, and also this many years. And still, I think she is performing. And so I met her in England. I did this Real Abbott Festival Hall. Uh, Maybe my pronounce not so correct, but at that time there's Paul McCartney also was there. And for me, I really that time I have no idea um, what the music in the West look, so to say. So, uh, so I met Annie, and then when we made the CD, she also participated this on Amma CD, which was very kind of her to be on the CD. And
Yes.
to me, uh, it's really I treasure them. I sent my prayers for their kindness. So if I meet a person, normally that's why I did not speak all this English. Uh, I always think I don't need to speak English. In a way, maybe it's a little bit not correct. I always thought everybody speaking a language and speaking English. And if one person did not speak, it's okay. If I meet a human beings, if I see, if I meet, I send a prayers. And that's, I think, for me, right thing. Otherwise, I just think if I speak English, then what I say, I did this, I went to tour, I sang, I this. So if I don't speak, then I save the time to do prayers. That's why I did not prove my English. And then also when I performed in Carnegie Hall, Natalie, I met Natalie, and I sang on Natalie's CD. This one something she gave me something. She said it's plaid or something, and I don't see actually. And and then I did toured with this bluegrass band, Peter Rowan. He is legendary of bluegrass, which is I saw amount of instrument music, and uh, it's very interesting. And also Billy Corgan, Smash Pumpkin, and people always say, "Oh, how can you go and how can you match?" And his music or their singing. So then also I did the Lila Fair tour. There's all the American legendaries performing, and I sing a cappella. And people always say, "Are you sure you're going to do that? It would be match." And for me, I don't think match is something I do. My pray, my love, this I need to do. So therefore, I don't believe myself I need to match somewhere. You know, if you come, if we met, means I treasure you. You are, I don't look at what they can do for me or no. So these are very, sort of say, different of how I look people who I met. Yes, then there I performed also in Louvre, this in Paris with the Bertie John, which is overall I did all kinds of people say come here, you do this, and then it's really sometimes it's not about so to say music, and especially these days, and which is very good to see, people are willing to listen others how they live, what they're thinking, and these are they're looking more deeper than very surface go life. And so in that sense, I appreciate, like example, World Music Institute. Today we talk about this sound about healing music. People call it healing music. And so, yes.
Okay. It's why don't we have a few questions, so why don't I put these to you and you answer in a hopefully brief amount of time. The first is from a writer, Udit Prakash, who says, I got to listen to Yungchen's music in 2010, and since then, it has become a part of my life. I hope she continues to bring such kindness over the coming years. I love how Lhamo was composed and produced. That record is divine. I wish to ask if she will be performing in India anytime soon.
Oh, yes, I love to. If you call me, say, Yungchen, sing a song for me, I sing for you tomorrow, okay? So you don't need to wait till I go to India to perform because life is not permanent. So I sing a song for you since you are here together. Here. Okay. Thank you so much for your questions.
Okay.
And so you wait the next CD with the gem sheet. Yes.
The next question is, do you have any advice for people who are new to sound healing? Is there a way for us to prepare mentally or access the healing property of music?
Mm. I really normally sort of say, don't say you need to do this or that, because number one, I'm not qualified about that. But I think any sound has a beneficial, depends how you listen. And also, when we're using a sound, for us, we use the five element, and also we're using mantras. That's why on my CD, every CD has all the CD. Every CD has a 6-syllable mantras, and then on the mantras, it's on the CD. So when you put the CD, the mantra turns. But the mantra when we listen sound, if you listen medicine Buddha, and then we need to become, first we need to clean our body and mind. We need to really, why we're doing this, what for we need to be healed. It's just me, then it's very little. Isn't this up to now? It's always me and mine and I. So if we say, I'm going to sit here doing this, whether I meditate, whether I drink a cup of tea, or whether I'm using this sound, and then I will become the medicine, you call it maybe doctor, maybe you can, visualize you yourself, doctor. We visualize medicine Buddha. So then slowly you turn yourself in medicine Buddha. So then you give blessings to all sentient beings. That's for me. When I was on stage, I don't really focus myself, how I look, I do I comfortable or not. I don't think like that so much, because you're really doing a prayer and pujas. So is this answered your questions?
I think that's pretty good. One more question for you
Yeah.
from Mike Fiorito. Hi, Young Chen. By healing ourselves, are we also healing other people?
I think in some countries, we doing something ourselves also consider it a sin or bad. I think this is not, that's not right. We need to heal ourselves, and then we can heal others. But at the same time, I said everything we do, we include all sentient beings. First of all, we heal why we're doing this, and then, we heal ourselves. Then you bring the people who close to you. First of all, your father's father, father's father, mother's mother, mother's mother, and then past life, next life, Yes, there's long story, but to make short, we make first close people who we know. We cannot just sit there, visualize, say, oh, all sentient beings. We can't. So therefore, we need to heal. And why I need to heal? So I want to heal because I can make something different to the society for others' life. If you cannot do it, also your goal is this way. So there is not punishment, you know. That's I think, and life self is not uh, life self. It's special. It's not bad. Sometimes we have this. We torture ourselves lots so much. Oh, now heal, and what this heal means, I don't understand. I don't want to get some silly things in my life. You want. Because first of all, when people say, oh, if you do this you get something, no, I think it's always good to investigate. And also if somebody say, I heal you, bring all your wallet to me, you run fast, you can.
Great.
Yeah.
Yungchen, we're just about at the end. Could we close with you singing a piece, and perhaps you can direct it to the questioner from India, Udit Prakash, who was asking when you would be performing there. As you suggested him calling up, and you would sing to him, maybe you can do that right now and share it with all of us.
Oh, how about maybe we do something together then?
Well, together over Zoom doesn't work because of the delay, so I think it's going to have to be a cappella.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
think when I said together means you visually you are singing. That's
Gotcha.
I'm saying. Wherever you are, you're using your voice to all the sentient beings. And then if you need to be healed, some parts of your body, if you are not comfortable, you're using this voice, let this go, clean the
Okay.
top. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And thank you for everyone. Mm-mm.
Thank you, Yungchen. It's been lovely to share the hour with you. Thanks.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Thank you both so much. This was very, very special. Thank you, Yungchen, for your presence, for your gifts, for sharing them so generously. And thank you, Jamshid, for conducting this conversation, which was just fascinating. And we are so glad that everybody could join us from India to Wisconsin. And we hope you will join us again for another WMI Plus at home. And you will tomorrow receive the follow-up email with the recording of this session, and also with additional links on where to find out more about both Yungchen and Jamshid, how to get her new record. And we thank you. And we look forward to seeing you all again.
Yes, then thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.